I spent the last 100 days, building no-code apps on Replit. And I'm going to share with you some of the things that I've learned. First thing I'll say is you got to stick to it, because things can be going fine, smoothly. You're like getting excited because the initial progress is like overwhelming. It's like, wow, this is incredible. It's like magic. But then you'll hit a wall, and all of a sudden, it seems like you're never going to figure out how to get past this roadblock. But what I learned is if you just keep pushing, then, I mean, it's like on try number 53 or 153, it'll finally fix itself. But here are some of the things that you need to do. First of all, you can go to ChatGPT. Whatever the problem you're having, first of all, hit F12 so that you can get the error codes, and then put that into agent so that it can see a snapshot get a screenshot of the situation that's happening in the app, but also the errors that it's throwing when you click F12 and you look to the right. And second of all, if it can't, I mean, you can do it right away, but if it cannot fix the error the first time or the second time, just paste the same thing into ChatGPT and let them have a crack at it. And then bring ChatGPT's response back over into Replit and say, hey, by the way, you guys, I got several hundred videos of this whole 100-day process. I'll put a link in the channel. But yeah, paste that into Replit and tell Agent 3 this is, and when you copy a whole bunch of stuff like that, then when you bring it over into Replit, it's going to be like it's going to look like it's in a document. So it's easy. You can just type over that and say, I've been going back and forth with ChatGPT. Take a look at what it said the problem might be. And they work together really well. You know, it's like they teammates. So we all a team. All of y'all be a team together. So Replit will be like, oh yeah, this is great. This is excellent. You know, yeah, we'll try that. This is that, the other. Sometimes, depending on what it is. Because, you know, Replit has all of the context. And when you ask ChatGPT a question, then you want to give it context as well, like what the app is supposed to do, what happened prior to. Don't just give it that one little problem, because you can fix a problem in and of itself, but ChatGPT might not understand that this fits within a larger narrative, a larger context. So there's different ways that you can fix the problem. So you don't want to fix a problem in an isolated way, and then it's going to conflict with other parts of the code. That's why I say just try Replit agent first, but then if not, then explain what the app's supposed to do, and maybe some of the things that's not happened up to this point. And then you can copy, you know, a whole lot of stuff out of what's been going back and forth with you and Replit. I mean, yeah, you and Replit agent. And then that gives ChatGPT a lot of context. And another thing you should do is, like, if there's a project that you're working on, create a project in ChatGPT so that all of the issues related to that app build is there. And even if you want to go even better, then well, that's just as good though. I was gonna say build a custom GPT, but all right, and that should have been number 2. The number 1 thing is you want to get it set up and prepared to take over there. And a lot of people might disagree with this. And even if you look at some of the Replit videos, they don't necessarily do this, but they already know a lot of the pieces of the puzzle. But if you're brand new and you have no idea what you're doing, then I created a tool just so that you can get something that's called a PRD, which is a product requirements document, all of the nuances to help you build the app. And then it's going to give you that whole game plan at the end of this phase, at the end of this process, that you can just take the Replit, and so that you're just not going in the blind. And there's 3 ways. So my point is this: you have to really flesh out your idea on what you want to build. Otherwise, you'll end up going back and starting over, and it just be a hodgepodge of going back and forth. As soon as you start getting progress, then you have another idea. Well, that's a part 2 to this, in a different direction, because you forgot, to add this and add that and to think about this, So this tool is called BoutiqueApps, and it's the first thing that I built when I knew that I was going to go down this rabbit hole, because I had been bumbling around playing with Replit and Lovable and all of them. That's why I decided to go on this journey. And the thing that I did realize is, like, I have figured out this much. I need a process that I repeat every time, so that it's easier for me to see, where I'm going wrong. It just seemed like it'd be better traction if you have a same process that you start with. So BoutiqueApps, you start either with a domain, or you start with an app idea, or you start with a business that you want to build an app for. And either one of them pathways, then it's going to help you to hone in on, if you want the app to do this, or the domain name is this, these are the apps we can build. If this is your app idea, then this is what you might want to think about. It's just, I designed it so it's going to help you brainstorm and figure out different things to do with the app. But anyway, and you can do this in ChatGPT. But when I put this together, I was going back and forth with Replit, to see how it liked to receive information from ChatGPT. Like, ChatGPT gonna try to micromanage and tell you how to set up the database and what to name the file names and what to use for every part. At least when I started, I don't know about now, as far as yesterday, when I started, Replit agent said, no, we don't want that. We just want to know what the app does, how you envision people using it, what problem does it solve, what features does it need. We don't want you to tell us what to call, what stack to use, and what to call database names, the parts of the database name. All right, so that's one, is you need a process. You need to flesh out your idea for the app. And you can do that on ChatGPT. BoutiqueApps is free. It's free to use. All you got to do is share it with 3 people, and you get free access to get your PRD, and then you just copy that and you take it over to Replit and start building. 2, you need to understand 9 times out of 10 you're going to hit a roadblock. A lot of times when people show you these videos that they built something overnight or in a day or in an hour, this stuff is cosmetic. This stuff still has to have a lot of work done to it, and a lot of the front looks pretty, and that's all it is really, is a front end and the framework for the back end, but it's not tested. And so 9 times out of 10 you're going to run into something. The more, especially obviously, the more complex it is, then the more issues you're likely to run into. But I'm saying, don't stop. And the other thing is, pay attention to your communication to Replit agent and to any AI. It's a big deal. The prompting and the communication. And so be intentional about growing and learning and paying attention to how well you communicate what it is you're trying to do and what you're trying to accomplish. And remember the context, because, you know, at the end of the day, truthfully, this is important in relationships and dealing with people too. So you're talking about intimate relationships, business relationships. You got a business partner, then this is absolutely beneficial. Going through this process and being intentional about trying to improve your communication. 3 is document it. When I look at, excuse me, I was up there at 1 o'clock this morning working on something and got up at 5 to go walk, come out here and walk. But when I look at some of the obstacles I overcame and some of the ideas, I'm so glad that it's documented, that I could go back to it, because honestly, it's been some incredible projects that I built that I would have never thought. I mean, when I first started, I knew the end goal was to build something incredible, but I'm still impressed with what I was able to build using no code. And it's gotten 10 times better since day one. Man, it's gotten 10 times better. And some of the best ones I built was in like the first month. And that was 100 days. And that was before it got as good as it is. So what you guys can build, it'll be incredible. It is incredible. All right, anyway, and so the 4th thing, what was the 3rd thing? And I got the nerve to talk about communication. The 4th thing I learned was project creep. That's another reason you want to flesh it out in the beginning, is because even after doing that, I still have project creep. Now part of that is because, I mean, that's just me. That's how I end up going down this rabbit hole, 100 days of no code. Everybody's not going to do that. So you might just want to go after the big money-making app, or solving a big problem, or only build something for money, which I don't blame you. But my strategy is, I mean, I love creativity, and I love learning things, and I love art. And to me, like, starting with nothing, an idea, and ending up with something that's actually usable, functioning, solves problems. Mostly everything I built mostly everything I built was to solve a specific problem that I had. And then probably 10% is just, I thought was cool ideas. Well, a problem I had or a problem somebody else had. But back to number 4 is called Project Creep. For an MVP, it's supposed to be kind of simple and maybe focus on 1 or 2 outcomes. Think about what is the most important thing that you could do with your app, you know, the most significant part of the problem that you can solve, that will have the biggest benefit, and focus on that one thing as an MVP. And then get that working before you go on to something else. And what I like to do is 2 things. I like to get that, but I mean, I'm telling you, what I've learned in best practice is not necessarily everything that I practice, but again, I was mindful of what I was doing, that I was violating. I paid attention and decided that this would be the best route to go. That don't mean I followed it, because I still would add stuff and add stuff and add stuff. I don't know if you can see that bird that flew in front of the camera. He stopped right there like he's trying to figure out what I'm doing. But I would add stuff relentlessly and pay dearly for it, with frustration and staying up all night. Buen día. Bien. ¿Y tú? Excelente. Yeah, so if you're really trying to get something finished, then pay close attention to project creep and stick to whatever you decide the MVP is. Now, once you get the MVP done, then what I like to do, if I want to keep adding to it, then I'll fork it from that working model. I like publishing it too myself. And you can publish it on the URL from Replit, and you can get a custom domain as well and set up the DNS so that somebody can go to your website, yourapp.com, whatever the app name is. By the way, BoutiqueApps has a lot of premium domain names that you can buy as well. But anyway, once you get something that's working, then fork it. And when you fork it, that means you preserve that original version of what's working, and then you can continue to build on a copy. Well, you're basically making a copy of it. And then you can build on the copy instead of your main project that you already got working. And then you get that to working. Yeah, get that to working, and maybe you add 2 features, and you get that to where it's all working good. Fork it again. I don't know if there's a limit to how many times you fork it, but fork it again to add more features. And also, if you want to make a copy for somebody else, then you can fork it and have them create an account, and you can share it to them, add them as a team member, and share it to them, and then you leave away from their team, leave away from the team. That's how you can transfer it. But the easiest thing, you know, if you know in advance somebody wants something, the easiest thing is for them to create an account and add you as a team member. Then it's already there, it's already there, theirs, and you don't have to do all that changing over stuff. The 5th thing that I learned, it changes quickly. The agent is getting better and better. It used to be where you only wanted to do things in iterations, like work on this part first, then work on that part, then add that part, then add that part. Now, some people say that you still should do that, but you will hear them bragging at Replit that the thing can go for 2 hours, and the longest I ever let it go was well, not let it go, but the longest it's gone with the complexity of my apps is about an hour. It's a bright green lizard, and I don't know if I'll be able to pick him up. You gotta zoom all the way in to see him, it's not gonna come out clear. Let me go into my ChatGPT and see if it can help me with hey, based on all of the questions that I've asked and the conversations that we've had related to these apps that I've been building, I'm doing a video right now that's trying to help the people that's watching, tell them about the lessons that I've learned. Give me 20 lessons that I learned while building these no-code apps for the last 100 days. Give me from the best to the least valuable. Now just give me 10 of the biggest value lessons that I can pass on from my journey. Because I use ChatGPT every day. All right, Herbie, I'm gonna give you 10 real lessons in the exact order of value based on everything you're going through building these apps. Man, it's talking about Bolt, Replit, Firebase, translation app, trucking app, influencer directory, content creator pro, the voting system. I forgot about the voting system. Land grab, the chaos, the breakthroughs, the failures, the frustration, all of it. These aren't fluffy. These are actual patterns from your journey. The 10 most valuable lessons from your 100-day no-code, low-code build grind. Your first version is always lying to you. Ship anyway. Every single app you build looks completely different 2 weeks later. You only figure out what the app really is after people touch it, not before. speed beats perfection every time. So true. Speed beats, because you're never going to get it perfected. The reality is that you will never get it perfected. You're always going to think of something else you can do. Back to the Project Creep thing I was talking about. Number two, the bottleneck is never tech, it's clarity. I told y'all, the bottleneck is never tech, it's clarity. Every time you stalled, it wasn't because of Replit, Bolt, APIs, Cloudflare, or Stripe, or GHL. It was because you didn't decide. What problem does it solve? Who needs it first? What's the one action users should take? I just told us, hey, we in sync. We in sync, chat. And I hooked GHL up to most of these apps. 3, a simple working version beats a perfected planned version. A simple working version beats a perfected planned version. You worried about multi-tenant SaaS. You worried about multi-tenant SaaS, complex file store structures, token costs, advanced integrations, the ideal architecture. But you got the most progress when you built the smallest working loop. Take input, do something valuable, return output. Almost every project proved that. 4, your mental RAM is the real limitation, not motivation. Your mental RAM is the real limitation, not motivation. Remember I said, understand that you're gonna have challenges and you just gotta keep pushing through it. And believe it or not, there is an open door on the other side of the challenge. But you gotta keep going in order to get there. So that's what they're talking about with the mental RAM. I should have did this the first time, right? Anyway, you never quit. You just overload your brain. Once you dump, you just overloaded your brain, talking about me. You never quit. You just overloaded your brain. Once you dump ideas into ChatGPT, Bolt, or Doc, or Replit, your execution speed tripled. Your lesson, offload thinking so your brain can build. And that's like I said, put it in ChatGPT, put it in Bolt, put it in ChatGPT, show ChatGPT what Bolt said, show Bolt what ChatGPT, not Bolt, show Replit what Chat. The reason I say Replit because that's the one I did 100. I messed with all of them, but Replit was 100 days, so obviously I feel more comfortable with Replit. 5, user intake. User intake is everything. Every project struggled at first because your questions weren't built right. Then you discovered, ask fewer questions, ask better questions. Make questions feel like a guided experience, not a test. This single shift made your trucking app, translation app, and voting app 10 times better. 6, you can't trust enthusiasm. You can only trust usage. You had dozens of fire ideas and some were fire, but only touching reality told truth. People say, this is awesome, but you learned truth. You learned the truth. If nobody uses it, it doesn't matter. 7, integrations are silent killers. Integrations are silent killers. Keep them minimal. Cloudflare, Facebook API, YouTube API, GHL custom fields, webhooks. These cause 80% of your pain. So true. I told you. I'm creative, and so I be having a vision, and I be like, what if I add this, and what if I do that, and what if I add this functionality, and man, it's somebody stop me. 8, good user experience beats good tech every single time. Good user experience beat good tech every single time. And a lot of times, things will be working and the user experience just too much left to be desired. And I didn't want to take the chance of changing it because one of the things that used to happen a lot, it don't happen that much anymore with Agent 3. But back in the day when I first started, man, all I want you to do is fix this cosmetic thing, or this, instead of clicking here, instead of having this button right here, put this button over here because it makes more sense. It's a better user experience. It would change all kinds of stuff on its own for no reason. But it, it's worth taking the chance because, like, and maybe everybody can't see it, but if I can look at something and just the process of navigating the app is exhaustive or seems ridiculous or counterproductive, that's going to have a bad user experience. And people are not going to come back and want to use an app like that. So even though back in the day, it was a big risk that you was going to break something, and I broke something a lot, I still changed things when it came to the user experience. Just yesterday, like from the states, it had, you gotta go there and select the state. All of the states are wide open. You scrolling down, looking through all the states, and then in all the countries. I'm like, yo, man, collapse these states, so that it just says USA, and then it says Brazil. You know, we got the countries, and then they open up once you click the countries and the states, the USA. Anyway, you get the idea. Stick to the script. That's why you got ChatGPT helping you out. 9 is community multiplies your build. Community multiplies your build. Every time you share progress, even small, you, 1, got new ideas. 2, found bugs. 3, attracted real users. 4, clarify your direction. Building in public isn't about attention, it's about real-time feedback loops. Real-time feedback loops. And I didn't do that as well as I could have, because I didn't really do a whole lot of exposure, except for just on the YouTube channel, just every day. But especially if you building one thing, I would take clips and post it all the time if I was you. Like in my next phase, that's what I'll be doing more. Like for that, I just wanted to get the experience and get more mastery of Replit and my process and the things that I learned. I just wanted to get more comfortable. But the reality is, you know, there's a lot of people who are at the same place and will be inspired and motivated by being exposed to you going through that process out in the open. So there's no wrong way to do it. And actually, the more people you invite in to experience your journey with you, then the more you grow your own community as you do it. Which, like, again, I had the invitation out there and everything was set up and open, but it wasn't like I was actively trying to bring people in. It was available. If they found it, they found it. If they didn't, I didn't even do the proper settings on all of the videos. I'll just be exhausted. And I uploaded, you know, with a dumb title and no description, same description, that's the default description of having the videos is how it is. But having a community around it is really going to motivate you, keep you going. It's going to help you with some of the earlier things, like not giving up. And because making it public and doing 100 days is kind of what kept me from giving up, you know, even though there's not many people that actually come and watch the video. I know that this is a repository of my work, of my ethic, of my effort, and of the journey. And I know on the other side, you know, it really don't have much to do with how many people saw the video. The proof is there and the experience is there to go back to. Anyway, 10. One solid system outperforms 10 half-built ideas. True. One solid system outperforms 10 half-built ideas. You finally learned you don't need 20 apps, which I got about 20, 30. You need one ecosystem where each tool feeds the other. Yeah, that's true, that's real true. I got so many projects that do that work with each other. But as far as the apps, I could have done that and I didn't do that intentionally. I found that, you know, a lot of them do complement each other, but you can be strategic in building smaller apps that do less things, but one app does this, another app does that, and they both related. Another app does that thing, and it's related to the other two. You know, maybe this one is a more entry-level app, and these two are upsell type outcome apps. Or anyway. You finally learn. This is why your trucking platform, your influencer directory, your CCP system, they started merging into a unified vision. I got a lot of overlap in apps from that creep. Like a lot of them got things that do the same thing. And if I were to just cut it dry, hard line, this one stops right here. This one begins right here and goes this far. This one only does this, that, the other, and they all work together. Because you know, when you talk about an agent, then you could build an agent that interacts with all of the apps, and the apps be your fulfillment on what the master agent is promising to the users. If that makes sense. I mean, that's all an agent is different nodes. You got one master who interacts with the end user. You know, it might do 10 things very well, but that's because under the hood, you got 10 agents that specializes in one of those things. So the app that's presented to the public, or whatever it is, to the business, you can say, the automation that goes to the business, worker agent. The main agent is doing one operation. Well, the main agent is managing all of this stuff. And whatever you input there, then it'll go out to the agent that specializes in that thing. It's the brain. It's gonna go out and say, all right, well, we're gonna need to call this one for this part, and this one for this part, and this one over here to put these pieces together, and then I'll bring it to you when they finish. Chill out, go do something else. But you know, you can design your app with that mindset, so that like everyone you build is actually multiplying the value instead of adding the value to your portfolio, what I call digital real estate. You can multiply the value of the digital real estate, because in its totality, let's say it's in the same industry, then you become a massive force and significant value in that industry. Lizards are everywhere out here. Lizards, stray dogs, stray cats. But the dogs and cats are cool, man. They just be chilling. Even the lizards be chilling. The lizards and the birds, they will come out and just chill and watch you while you watching it. You look up and it's been watching you the whole time. You're like, oh, okay. Anyway, your biggest future wins will come from connection, not creation. All right, so that's part of 10. And then it says the short version for your video, if you want to talk it straight, ship fast. Your version 1, ship fast. Your version, I got the nerve to talk about communication. Ship fast. Your first version is a lie. 2, clarity beats code. 3, simple loops win. 4, offload your brain. 5, intake the whole app. Oh, intake is the whole app. 6, don't trust hype, trust usage. 7, minimize integrations. 8, user experience beats tech. 9, build in public. 10, consolidate wins. One ecosystem beats 20. So I guess I'll start the video like this, right off the bat. Top 10 things I learned from building no-code apps for 100 days straight in Replit. And then I'll elaborate. Next, I'll go into more detail on each one of these 10. Yeah, that's how I do it. Wonderful. So basically though, if you decide to watch these videos, it is an experience and a lesson in ChatGPT, in BoutiqueApps.com, in GoHighLevel, because I connected most of my apps to GoHighLevel. If you don't know, GoHighLevel is a CRM, and Replit, and even Cloudflare to some degree, because most of my domains are hosted at Cloudflare. I changed the color. But you know, that's what's been going on. Now the next phase, I'm going straight into creative AI. So next, I'm going to go into the marketing and promotion of these apps. I'll provide you with the PRD to 10 of my favorite apps. I mean, if you want some of the other ones, you can get it too, but just for the sake of time and my sanity, I'm just going to pick out 10 of my favorite, and I'm going to have them there. Yeah, just come on through. You'll get the benefit of my 100 days of experience and go on the journey with me, the inside journey with me on the next 30 days of marketing and promotion. We're going to do 30 days of marketing and promotion of these apps now. But now it's time to make some money. So now, on another tip, if you're interested in coming out here to Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic, come on out here, I got you. We'll show you around.